Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of Tech and Pics, and today I'm going to bring you another one of my fantastic lens reviews. First of all, don't forget to visit my social media links in the description below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. I got things inverted. So today we're going to talk about what is my favorite lens on the A6000. It is the Samyang, or it depends on what part of the planet you're from. It could also be a Rockinon, it could be a Bauer. It is the Samyang 12mm f2. Now don't get confused with the 14mm f2.8 or the 12mm 12.8. There is only one 12mm f2, and that is this one. It is a nice lens. It is mostly plastic with some metal construction, but it's mostly plastic, but it's that very, very high quality plastic, so you don't have to worry about it falling apart whenever you're focusing. It is a manual only focus lens, which for a lot of people I know that say, no, I need autofocus, man. But don't worry, because it's fantastic. Because if you have an A6000 or an A6300 or any Sony camera that is APS-C sensor or full frame, interchangeable lens is the word I'm looking for, then you can easily access the focus peaking and the focus magnifying, which means that if you have a manual focus lens, you will get that focus spot on every single time without hesitation. And there you go. It is not a deal breaker anymore. The quality, what can I say about the quality? The quality to this lens for being a 12mm lens is fantastic. If you compare it to Sony's autofocus option, which is the SEL 10 to 18mm f4, you realize that this lens has a lot of things that beat the Sony lens. First of all, it is slightly smaller. It is slightly lighter, which is fantastic. You want a small, light lens to bring around your camera. It produces better color. It produces much better contrast because it's a prime lens. The Samyang is a prime lens, so it's a fixed focal length, so there's no moving glass inside except for focusing, but there's no zooming in and out, so it was made and optimized for that focal length. So you get amazing quality, sharpness all the way across. Just slight distortion. It's a wide angle lens in the end. It is not a fisheye lens, it is a wide angle lens. It is optimized for APS-C sensor, so that is also fantastic. While the SEL 10 to 18 also works somewhat with a slight vignette on a full frame. That means it was not optimized for APS-C sensor. If you put that the Samyang 12mm on the A7, for example, you're going to get vignetting, a lot of it too. And another thing is that the SEL 10 to 18 is f4, while the Samyang is f2. That is a whole ton of stops faster, and that means it brings in more light, so you can shoot at a lower ISO, get better quality, less noise in your picture, and plus it works great if you want to take astrophotography. So it's great for astrophotography because f2 is a nice f-stop to take astrophotography. So for all you astrophotographers out there that want to take pictures, this lens is perfectly ideal for you. Another thing to consider why this lens is better than the SEL 10 to 18 f4 is simply the fact of the price. You can find the Samyang 12mm f2 anywhere from $250 to $320. For mine, a year and a half ago, I paid 320 euros, which at the time is a great price. The Sony lens, you will never find it cheaper than 600, 700 euros. It's ridiculously overpriced, and on top of that, the quality control is not that good. I've seen videos where that clearly show that the SEL 10 to 18 f4, it's distorted on one end, it's sharp on one side, but the other side is out of focus. It seems unbalanced, it doesn't focus well. It is by all means, it's a great lens. It's a small little lens, but compared to the Samyang, it has a lot of negative aspects to it, negative points. And you're probably asking yourself, well, 12mm, what about 18mm like the Sony lens has? Well, this lens, the Samyang, is sharp enough that you can easily crop it in slightly and it'll look great. You can crop it into 18mm. You can even go as far as maybe 22mm, 20, 22, 23, 24. I wouldn't go further than 24 because, of course, you start cropping in a lot. But I've cropped in this pictures from this lens really, really a lot, and it looks fantastic. Now, what about bokeh? Well, at 12mm f2, you're really not going to get that much bokeh. There are some out of focus areas when you get really close to a subject. So if you want to take a wide angle picture of flowers and you get in really close, the minimal focus distance is 20 centimeters. You can see that the background starts to blur a bit. It's not that much, but it is enough to actually cause a separation between your subject and the background. What about the colors? Well, I don't know how to explain this to you, but in short, the colors on this lens are amazing. The color reproduction is amazing. I am convinced it has something to do with the optics on the inside. One of them must have some magical coatings on it, because this lens can really produce some punchy, vibrant colors with respect to its competitors. And you can just look at the pictures that I'm showing you right now as I'm talking to you. You can clearly see that the colors are amazing. You can achieve some really contrasty colors, and really you don't have to be afraid to move that slider up to really get nice, rich, saturated colors. And let me tell you something, this lens is so great. I have it on my camera 95% of the day. The other lenses that I bring with me along with it are just to try them out, and they come and go, but the one that is always in my camera bag is really the Samyang 12mm f2. Now as I'm showing you pictures here, you probably ask yourself, what about the video quality? Can I use this lens to make great videos? Yes, you can. It has fantastic color reproduction. I'm going to show you right now. I made a very small, simple video test. I had no special lighting rigs or any gimbals or anything to maintain the stabilization, but I'm just going to show you what you can expect if you want to shoot video. A very wide angle, unless of course you don't have the camera steady in a way where it doesn't shake around, and if you have to apply stabilization in your video editing program, then for sure it's going to crop it in a little bit. It depends on how much stabilization you actually want. But if you have stabilization, you have a really wide angle. So regarding the video, I'm going to show you that video right now, and I'll be back right after the video. There is not really enough I can say about this lens. If you want to check out, I will post an album only with pictures that have been taken with this lens in the description below, plus a direct link to Amazon where you can directly purchase this lens. You will not find a prime lens 12mm f2 at such a cheap price, and Samyang make fantastic lenses, whether it's cine lenses or picture lenses. I cannot recommend this lens enough. So this is Carl for Tech and Pics, and I will see you next time in my lens video review. So have a nice day and go out and start snapping.